We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships.
This is the Couples Academy Show. Well, welcome everyone to the Couples Academy Show. My name is Hassani. Can we start over, Madison? Can you press restart? Can we do the intro again? I'm Hassani. You are.
I'm Danielle.
And who are you on the end?
Who's that?
This is Lakeisha. We're in the building, folks. This is the first time we've had a live guest with us, but this is the Couples Academy team. Let us reintroduce ourselves.
Yes.
We are Couples Academy, and we're glad to have you here this morning. And as you know, every single Friday, you know what it is. It is relationship Q&A. This is the time for you to get your question in. So we want you to post it right here, right now. If you're dating, if you're in a committed courtship, if you're engaged, if you're married, if you're on the verge of divorce, if you're going through crisis in your relationship, if you've experienced an affair, if you are just eavesdropping on the conversation to see what we're talking about, ask your question right here, right now, so we can address it, because that's what this is all about.
And don't forget, you need to like, share, and subscribe. And I'd like to give you a moment to do so. So don't take what I'm saying lightly. While the screen is up, just go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and make sure that you share it so that this message goes to the 4 corners of the earth, which is what we really want to happen. I see a couple of comments coming in, but this is your opportunity to get your questions answered. So drop them like it's hot, because we have a phenomenal guest here that Hassani is about to introduce.
She's going to break it down.
She's going to break down some questions and get some answers to y'all that you haven't been able to get before. So this is the day.
Lakeisha Hines is a marriage coach, and she's been working with couples for a tremendous number of years. What are some of the areas of specialty that I guess that you delve into?
All right. So good morning, everyone. A lot of the specialties are with families, definitely with parents, co-parenting issues, those who have children with special needs or disabilities, chronic health care conditions, but also individual females, and again, marriages who may be going through some particular challenges.
And she's been with us for, we've been putting these commercials out about growing our team, and we are just excited because we have a stellar team, and she's now a part of it and going to be joining us on a regular basis.
One thing that I'm really excited about is the fact that you work with families with special needs, because this is something that we're passionate about as well. And the fact is that people who have special needs children struggle a lot. You know, they have, and this is something that people don't know. It's not all about infidelity all the time or other financial crisis. People who have special needs children struggle because they have to fight to stay together to help this special needs child. And I'm sure so many other things. You want to speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. And to your point, there are other challenges that couples who have children with disabilities face, but they do also run a high risk of infidelity.
Really?
Because they have a very difficult time trying to find that balance between caring for that child who is literally sometimes sucking the life out of them because they do have so many needs. So the couples really do struggle with trying to balance everything, time and healthcare and doctor's appointments and all of these different things. So infidelity is, they are at a greater risk for that, but also in just trying to find themselves and maintain their individualism and, you know, self-care is a big one.
No, I was told that, you know, if you have a child with a disability, there's so many government programs and financial programs you can take advantage of. But what happens is crisis hits the marriage even more when all of those programs go away and the child is now 18 years old and you're forced to deal with it all on your own. And that's when it hits the this challenge is all throughout, but I heard that it skyrockets around that time. Is there any truth to that?
There's definitely truth for that, because truth to that, because at 18, a lot of services do go away. Now, there are some other ones that kick in, but there is a gap. There's definitely a gap. And if couples don't plan and prepare for that, which is also something that I assist with, they can really find that the rug's being pulled from underneath them once that child becomes an adult.
Wow.
You need time to prep.
That is crazy. See, we're getting started already, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is relationship Q&A. So we're going to give you a moment to post your questions in here. What we're going to do is go to another testimonial. There was a couple that we did an intensive with, and they had such a powerful transformational experience. And every time they want to share with us, we want to share with you. So take a look at this and we'll get into your questions on the other side of this video.
Okay, my name is Nicole and I'm from Maryland. This is my husband, Gilberto.
From Maryland too.
And I had been researching Couples Academy since March. And I watched videos and I just studied them and I applied what they were saying to my relationship. And I seen differences from things that they told us to do. And finally, after about 7 months, I decided to take this chance and sign up with the 3-day intensive. And it has transformed not just my marriage, but myself. And I really thank Couples Academy for reaching and studying and being able to reach couples through all of the work that they put us through. It has made us have a deeper connection where I feel like I know myself more and I can become a better person for my marriage.
It's difficult and believe. 3 days. I can't believe what happened to me on 3 days. It's amazing. It's amazing, crazy, like
Emotional
for
roller
myself,
coaster.
for myself, it's unbelievable. And the way, like, how they give you all this work to do, you can feel changing by hours and hours. You feel the change. You feel like, what I did? But in the beginning, it's kind of hard. But it started to make sense. Like when you got a puzzle, you put this piece right here, you put this piece right here. The puzzle in the beginning is hard to put it together. But when you put the last piece, you're like, we got it done.
And I came in feeling unsafe, scared. And through everything that we did, I now have, and walking and going home with security and safety, which is going to help us connect on a deeper level and be able to have that marriage that we've always been longing for. And we just needed the right people and the right tools.
Well, we have to thank you, Couple Academy, for this nice job they did on us.
And if you're going through it, no matter what your situation is, you may think, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, it's really bad. The things that they give you helps you to discover yourself.
The tools they give you.
That's the most beautiful thing. Discover yourself.
Yeah.
That's right. No matter what your situation is, no matter how bad it is, it's not too late. Any and all things are subject to change, but you have to be willing to do something that you've never done before to get something that you've never had. And so we're excited about that couple because of the transformation that they've experienced. And if it is you next waiting, we just got a call this morning. Somebody wants to do an intensive. Listen, pick up the phone, go to the website, set up a discovery call. Let's have a conversation to figure out how we can help restore your relationship.
Absolutely. I want to just go to this comment here. I see Tyrone and Kathy McCoy. They're part of our Moving Forward program. They say, good morning from the Moving Forward group in Tampa. So they have literally gathered themselves together. This is the Moving Forward group and gone on a vacation without us.
See, that's the power of group. That's the power of community.
That is the power of community. And they're in her hometown in Tampa.
You're here, they're there.
Party over there, right? No, we really appreciate you guys. You're tuning in and doing what you need to do. It blesses my heart to see the pictures. Kathy, you've been sending pictures, and I see my heart goes out to them when I see certain people. You're picking them up. Y'all have become such a family, and it's awesome. Let's go to these comments here. There's a powerful comment I want to acknowledge by BT Jackson. He says, Thank you for bringing her on board. I have 2 special needs children, autism and legal blindness in both children. It has definitely been a challenge in our marriage. Wow. And I think about, we don't look at that. We see the special needs child and we feel sorry about that. Oh man, what a struggle, right? We're not thinking about the couple and what they're going through as parents to special needs children. Yeah. And we don't think about the other siblings. I bet you that's an issue as well, because the other siblings feel maybe sidelined because you have to pour your energy into the child that has the needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge issue. And we do focus on siblings as well because they often are forgot about. They're neglected. Specifically, there was this one couple, they had taken a family vacation and the family vacation had to be cut short because the child with the significant needs got sick and they had to cut the trip.
Wow.
So that kid, the other sibling, typical sibling, definitely was devastated that that trip had to be canceled. So, but you're absolutely right. It is one of those things. Couples, a lot of times they forget to focus on their own individual self-care as well as pouring into the relationship because they're so focused on taking care of that child with special needs.
Wow. Guys, great questions. We're about to take a commercial break. We want you to dump them in here. See, what you all do, you wait till there's 5 minutes ahead and then you go crazy with your questions.
And don't miss out on Lakeisha being here. If you are a parent to a special needs child, get on here and ask your questions now. Today's the day. We'll see you in a second.
On the other side.
Welcome back, guys. You're watching the Couples Academy show, and I want to acknowledge our faithful watchers here. Hey, Vashawn, good morning from Chicago. Good morning to, this is all me. Tanya, good morning. Good to see you. Are you in the Bahamas or in Bermuda? I know you had went away, but happy belated birthday. Who else is on here? Angel, good morning. Dee from South Bend. Jaguar from PA. Rick Benet from Michigan. Gina Robinson, I'm going to get to your comment, but good morning, Keisha, Kia, and Kim and O'Neill. Good morning to everybody. So I want to jump into JG Pruitt
coming to the conference. J Love, my sister from Chicago. She just got married recently. Listen, we can't wait to see you at the retreat coming up.
And I see Callie Mae on here. Good morning. I see Dee. I'm trying to Jaila. Good morning. See, they're coming in now. Linda. Good morning. Good morning, Tyrone. We said hello to you. Good morning to everybody. Jewel K. All right, let's jump into some of these questions. I want to come up to the top here. There's a comment here from Volganzator. Is it normal that I miss my wife after divorce, even though she is and will remain the person that hurt me the most?
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes. And I think that's something that, it's a process to heal and recover and move on. And oftentimes you're still tethered to the person that you were married to or that you had your affections towards. It doesn't matter that they hurt you. I mean, we're hurt all the time by parents, friends, loved ones, and we reconcile. It sounds like, unfortunately, you were not able to reconcile this. And now it's time for you to go through a process of healing so that you can release that connection or become untethered to that relationship.
Absolutely. And you know what? Listen, I don't know what your situation is or what led to the divorce, but there is a percentage, I think it's around 15% of people who divorce actually remarry the person that they divorced.
That's
because
true.
They were able to reconcile. And sometimes it happened too quickly. Sometimes there was no closure. Sometimes we were in our feelings and emotions and race race to the courthouse just to end it. And then we live in regret because maybe we could have done something different. So who knows? The possibilities are always there. But if it never should reconcile, is it okay that you miss her, or is it appropriate? Well, yes, it's a grieving process. Yes. Grieving takes some time. Just because you end a relationship today doesn't mean that it's over, if you will, the next day. Think about it. There's a difference between being single and separate. So you are physically separate from your wife because you've divorced. But are you single yet? Aren't you still thinking about her, dreaming about her? Maybe you have possessions, that you've accumulated together that remind you of her. So it's a process. It's a process.
And we don't know how long it's been either. So it could have been a week, or it could have been years. But still, if you haven't gone through a process to disconnect, you're still going to have those emotions.
I don't know how long it's been either, but I think I would find it strange, actually, if someone did not miss that person. You shared a life with this person. You shared everything with this person.
I agree.
So I don't think that's strange or weird at all that you still have affections towards your spouse.
Especially if the Bible says that when two are married, they become one. There's a oneness.
Right.
It's almost like me ripping my arm off, putting it on the ground, and walking away. Like who's been a part of me all my life is now gone. Of course I'm going to miss him.
Right. Let's go to Dee's comment. My spouse tells his family all about my faults, but not his part. His family says hurtful things about me, and then he thinks I'm wrong for feeling some kind of way. How do I get him to see his part?
Well, if it's not working by you communicating to him what he is doing, then that's why you bring a third party in that can kind of make it clear. Sometimes we're numb to what our spouses think, feel, and say, and it takes somebody else saying the same thing to wake us up. And so that's been the case for me. That's been the case for a lot of people who come to Couples Academy. So that's what it's all about.
In addition to that, we shouldn't be telling our family all of our personal business when we're in a relationship with someone, because when you're moving on and you've healed those places, they don't so easily forgive and forget, right? So now you've already told all your business, you're talking about your spouse, and your mother will never forget it, okay? Your mother, the mother of the son, will never forgive you, your wife.
I don't know if this happened to like one of you, but like, have you ever had a fallout with one of your friends and then you told your mom about it and your mom
can't stand that girl for the rest of the relationship? She can't stand it. Right.
And mom is still mad.
Right.
Like, same thing.
We always say, like, find a safe place to communicate about your relationship. A counselor is your number one spot, but a close confidant friend, but not your family, because they don't so easily forgive and forget.
And then you also want to share with somebody who's not so biased to you that they won't give you advice and won't correct you when you're wrong. Like we all need accountability and checks and balances.
Absolutely. Neutral party.
Exactly.
Neutral party that doesn't have, like, has both of your, is vested in both of your interests and not biased, like you said, to one side.
Jules says, my husband continues to have emotional affair with multiple women and spending money on them as well. He makes me feel stupid, delusional, and sad when I bring up the affairs.
So what you going to do,
I wonder what the question is.
What are you going to do? So this man is continuing to have affairs in broad daylight. He's spending money, taking money out of the home that should be reserved for you and the family and the resources, and you feel stupid. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? Okay, that's my question to you. So I'm challenging you, because if you do nothing, it will continue to remain. And let me tell you something. What I'm about to say, this is not victimizing the victim here, because in this case, your husband is doing something that he knows is wrong. So my question is, when you bring it up, what is the reaction? What is the response? Beyond just bringing it up and responding emotionally, what actions are you taking? Like, at the end of the day, men are motivated by the fear of loss. So when men realize that, oh my God, she's not willing to take this anymore, because sometimes we will continue to do the wrong thing to people if we know that they'll continue to deal with it.
Right.
There's no consequences from my actions. Fine. I know your pattern. You get upset, you cry, you complain, but 3 days later you're back to normal and I'm gonna just do my thing. So they've studied you. They know your pattern. And so if you want him to change, and he won't, then you've got to change, because when you change, it will force a change in him. So what are you going to do? Reach out to us so that we can talk about this.
One of the most important things to understand is if that other person who is cheating is not showing any signs of remorse, then you definitely have to make a decision. Because that's the thing, the number one thing that gives you hope that the relationship can be salvaged is that person is remorseful. And it doesn't sound like this one is. So you have some serious decisions you need to make. So you need to call us today so we can help you figure out what to do.
Absolutely. Are we going to a break or do we have time?
We
Okay. Let's go to the next one. Lorraine says, after a year of counseling, I'm still struggling with showing any emotion to my husband after he had a 7-year affair. Friends with benefits. It was only sex, he said. How long will it normally take?
So first of all, when I hear it was only, that's minimizing. Okay. That's a problem.
It is.
So what happens is it was only sex. So what he's doing, he's making it, it was no big deal because I didn't give her my heart. It's not like I was in love with her. Then you have other people who it's just an emotional affair. It's never anything physical. And it was just a feeling. It's not like I had sex with them, right? People justify their wrong behavior all the time. And to that point, it was about remorse. He doesn't seem remorseful. Whatever your spouse minimizes, you're going to maximize. Whatever he maximizes, once he fully owns what he did and he understands the devastation of his actions, he would be remorseful. He would be repentant. He would change his ways. But at this point, he doesn't see what he's done as a huge violation. So why is it taking you so long to just deal with it? Get over it.
That's what it sounds like. Right. Like, there's a lot of filling in the blanks to that statement, but it sounds like he has minimized it for you. And so you're still holding on to the resentment. It's hard for you to release, your trust or your ability to trust again because he hasn't fully acknowledged what he's done.
Right.
It is a huge minimization to say it was only sex. And for some people, just an emotional affair is just as much as a crisis as a physical affair. At the end of the day, there was a betrayal that needs to be reconciled. And once that is fully reconciled and there's full disclosure and all the details come out about it, you can get on the journey of true forgiveness because it is a journey.
What he's doing is taking the accountability that he should be owning and putting it off onto you. He's saying that it was only this, it was only that. And what it does is makes it feel like you are the one with the problem or you are the one that's having difficulty moving, but he hasn't handled it the appropriate way. He hasn't taken full accountability for what it is that he's done.
Absolutely right. All right, guys, we got time for one more commercial break. We'll be right back to answer more of your questions. Stay right there.
Welcome back, guys. You're watching the Couples Academy show. You just watched a commercial, though, that was about the Moving Forward program. We just mentioned it, which is our 6-month program with an online platform that has 6 modules that leads you from wherever you're at to the down the path of fulfillment. It comes with retreats. It comes with counseling, all the support that you need. If you're going through crisis right now, make sure that you reach out to us. Go ahead and mute that. Go ahead and mute that. Make sure you reach out to us. We're going to jump into the next comments here. Let's see. This one's from Jewel. Did I read Jules? I don't want to continue counseling because I feel he's playing games with our marriage since we are separated. He doesn't understand what marriage is. I guess I'm completing that sentence for her. I mean, here's the deal. This is what I would say about not wanting to complete counseling when we're frustrated, when our spouse is not showing up right. I would say draw the circle around your own 2 feet and focus on yourself. Don't quit the counseling. Just take the counseling on for yourself. Because at the end of the day, even when you're in counseling with your spouse, the only person that you can truly affect change in is yourself, right? So if you dial into what's going on with you, you begin to shift and change, which will automatically shift and change your environment and how people treat you, right? Because if I strengthen within me, you're not going to treat me the same. And that's really the key.
Let's go to the next one. Marie says, I discovered emails with information that revealed adultery with a few sex workers almost 3 months ago. But my spouse says I should be over it and put it in the past. Help. So once again, you just discovered this 3 months ago. You are in the discovery phase.
Yes.
And oftentimes when you're having all these conversations, there's trickle truth that is given. You've discovered what you've discovered, but then it's about, okay, the fight for more information. He may be tight-lipped. He may be diverting from the conversation and just wants to move on. That only adds and compounds to the pain that you already have. You can't get over it and just move on without going through a process that he goes through with you. And I think we're saying it again. He's not repentant. He's not remorseful. And so therefore, if you need help, please allow us to help you. Reach out to us.
I got a comment here from JD Pruitt saying, my wife thinks that me asking for communication counseling is manipulation for me to fix our marriage instead of a tool for co-parenting. What can I do? I mean, I don't think that there's a problem with using counseling as a tool to fix your marriage or for co-parenting. I think the issue is that your spouse doesn't want counseling. And I think we need to dial into what that is. But just like the last person, get yourself into some solid counseling. And I'm JD, like we've been talking for months. You need to be in weekly sessions so that you can get yourself together, right? And once you get yourself together as the head of that house, you will have the answers that you need to be the man, to be the father, to be the husband that you need to be for that relationship. I need you to reach out to us. Like, it's been a long time, my brother. Reach out.
The reality is this. Co-parenting is just like any other relationship. It works if you work it. And you guys have to be on the same page. You have to figure out a way to coexist. So I get that they're thinking that it's about trying to restore the marriage, but it's really about how do we do this in a productive way to make sure that we're taking care of the children, to make sure that they're okay.
Yes, agreed.
I'm going to jump to Jewel. Dan, I don't think you read this. It's a 2-part. It says, I don't want to continue counseling because I feel he's playing games.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you just, I'm sorry.
That's
Okay. I was reading ahead, but it was like 2 parts to it.
Oh, it was 2 parts.
It was like 2
I missed
parts.
the second
and
part.
in essence, he's not showing up the right way, so she doesn't want to be a part of that counseling process.
Right.
And at the end of the day,
that one. Okay. But go ahead.
I'm just saying, we're not magicians, right?
Yeah.
So we can't put you under a spell and make you do right. It's our job to lead, guide, and steer, but both of you have to be willing participants. Now, if he's being manipulative and playing games, that's one issue. If he's just shut down and we haven't found the source of his motivation, that's another issue. But I think you're right. You did address going to counseling for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I was reading another question at the same time, but I did want to circle back around and just hit that.
Okay.
That individual counseling oftentimes leads to couples. And even when you're in couples and then you say, you know what, I just want to work for on my own. Sometimes that spouse finds the motivation in your individual work and they come back on board and they're ready to go.
So true. Let's jump to D. I found out a betrayal happened prior to the marriage and my spouse thinks I should be over it because he's been faithful since the marriage. I want to get over it, but it's a struggle.
Anytime somebody says you should be over it, it is discounting how you feel. It's minimizing the situation. It's almost like a slap in the face. So it sounds like that situation was not resolved appropriately, correctly, in an appropriate way, because had it been handled the appropriate way, you probably would be over it.
Absolutely. I would say that, anything that's not dealt with will rot and fester. We just had a couple come here that have been married 40 years, I want to say. They've been together since the beginning, since they were young people. The affair happened before they got married, and it has festered through 40 years of their marriage. Okay. Something that happened when they were teenagers, never got dealt with, festered for 40 years. And so it has to get dealt with. And you don't want to be that person where you've got that rot and resentment festering within you. So get yourself into some counseling.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Somebody, I think Callie said, a friend has a couples referral for you. Question: do I give her the discovery call number, or is there another approach? Yeah, give her the discovery call number. Also, I mean, the number we post at the bottom, 678-200-8996, that's a direct access to us. But certainly you can set up a discovery call. Listen, guys, we want to appreciate you for your questions. There are a lot more. What we're going to do is we're going to carry them into the next week. Now, I'm excited about this new series we're going to do. I tell you, it's long overdue.
Y'all gonna want to tune in.
I don't even want to tell you what it is, but it's all over the internet. Everybody's talking about it, and now we felt the need.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. We're saying something,
and we're gonna spend some time on it. We're gonna go deep into it. We're gonna take our time and blow up this ridiculous notion that everybody's talking about. Listen, guys, have a great weekend. We have work to do. We'll see you on Monday. Enjoy.
Bye.